Title: Brilliance Without Wisdom. The school bell rang. Laughter filled the dusty compound. But Amara stayed in her seat, her pen flying across her mathematics book. She wasn't the so-called good girl. She loved attention, skipped fellowship sometimes, but she was brilliant. Teachers called her their pride. Classmates envied her sharp mind. Then came the youth corper. His khaki uniform sharp, his smile confident, his voice calm. Girls whispered, but it was Amara who caught his eye. When she answered flawlessly, he stopped her after class and said, "You're different." That was the beginning. At first it was lessons. His cologne lingered as he leaned close, his hand brushing hers. Conversation stretched into evenings. Laughter turned into silence heavy with meaning. One day under the setting sun, he held her hand at the gate. Her chest tightened, the city noise faded. All she heard was her heartbeat. Days turned to weeks. He bought her snacks, called her queen, whispered under the streetlight, "You are not just brilliant, Amara. You are everything." She knew the warnings, but when his hand cupped her face, reason melted. That night her life shifted quietly, like a flame catching dry wood. At first she glowed. Friends teased her about her corper man, and she smiled shyly. She studied less, but told herself she was still brilliant. But soon the glow dimmed. Nausea bent her in the mornings. The calendar under her pillow no longer made sense. Hostile whispers grew sharper, laughter crueler. And the corper, the man who promised her the world, began to pull away. His texts grew shorter, his visits fewer, his excuses heavier. "I can't risk my future. People are talking." Her brilliance faded. Teachers shook their heads, classmates mocked. The brightest girl became a shadow carrying a secret too heavy. One evening she came home early. Her mother's eyes scanned her like an open book. "Amara," she asked quietly, "what are you hiding from me?" Tears spilled as Amara clutched her uniform. "Mama, I made a mistake." Her mother's eyes dropped to her stomach. Silence heavier than thunder filled the room. Then tears. "Amara, my pride, what have you done? Do you know what you've thrown away? The scholarship we prayed for? The future we dreamed of? All gone." Amara fell to her knees, sobbing. "Mama, I thought he loved me." Her mother cupped her face. "Love that hides when truth comes. Love that leaves you alone, that is not love. That is a chain, and now you must carry it." That night, long after her mother cried herself to sleep, Amara sat by the window, the streetlights glowing faintly outside. She pressed her hand to her stomach and whispered, "I was brilliant." But brilliance without wisdom is a fire that burns its own house. And so her story spread, through classrooms, WhatsApp groups, and hostel corridors. Not as the tale of the brightest girl, but as a warning. A reminder that choices have shadows, and not every love story ends the way it begins.